Hello, friends. This is Mrs. Cochran. But you must be wondering who I'm dressed as. Well, I'm dressed as Professor Savant, a character of the last of the really great Whangdoodles. This fiction story is written by Julie Andrews Edwards and written in 1974 and published by Harper & Row. You must be wondering what a Whangdoodle is. It is a funny word. Well, I'm going to tell you. Many years ago, the Whangdoodle was known as one of the most extraordinary creatures in the world. People marveled over the magnificent beast and praised it for its kindness and intelligence. One day, the Whangdoodle disappeared to rule his own land, which was full of many other remarkable creatures. This wonderful and magical place became his Whangdoodle land, unknown to the human world. However, Professor Savant believed that the Whangdoodle must exist and dedicated his life to finding him. He shares his research with the three Potter children, Ben, Tom, and Lindy, who find the world of the Whangdoodle exciting and fascinating. The professor takes the Potter children on a wild and wondrous adventure of imagination, excitement, and faith to find the mysterious Whangdoodle. However, once they finally reach the Whangdoodle land, they are faced with the evil Proc, who tries to keep them from the Whangdoodle. Throughout the story, the four travelers face adversity and despair. Through teamwork and determination, the group finally finds the magical Whangdoodle and helps him grant his wish. The main characters in this story are Professor Savant. The three children meet Professor Savant at the very beginning of the story at a zoo. And he is very older and a peculiar gentleman who first appears very mysterious and a little different. The professor teaches the Potter children about the mysterious world of the Whangdoodle land and all of the many creatures that live there. The other main characters are the three Potter children, Ben, Tom, and Lindy. Ben is the oldest of the Potter children. He is 13 years old, and he is very brave and very bold, and he really wants to be treated like a man. Tom, however, is 10 years old. He's the middle child, and he causes a lot of problems for these kids. He's very adventurous and just likes to have fun. Lindy is the youngest of the Potter children, and she's 7. And Tom never lets her forget it. She is at first very timid and shy. However, Lindy is determined to keep up with her older brothers and find a voice of her own. The setting of the story takes place in October during the late 1900s. There are two places that the story takes place in, and that's Professor Savant's house and in Whangdoodle land. Professor Savant's house is where the children learn about the Whangdoodle and all the creatures that are in Whangdoodle land. They look at Professor Savant's research and all of his miraculous drawings that he's made to prove to other people that there is a Whangdoodle, but no one really believes him, except for the Potter children. They're determined to help him get back to Whangdoodle land, to find it, and to see all the amazing new creatures that there are. In Whangdoodle land, this is where Professor Savant and the Potter children go, and it takes them a really long time to get there. They have to use a lot of imagination and a lot of gut. But at Whangdoodle land, they embark on a wonderful and exciting adventure unlike anything they could have ever imagined. Whangdoodle land ended up being something so surreal and so incredible for them, and it was just an adventure of a lifetime. The purpose of this story, Julie Andrews' purpose in the last of the really great Whangdoodles is to entertain her readers. She really wanted to create this fun and lighthearted atmosphere where kids feel free to dream and to imagine. Her aim is to tell a story that people will enjoy and get them excited to read. The last of the really great Whangdoodles is written to spark imaginations in its readers and to encourage them to never give up on their dreams. The tone of the story. Throughout the story, Julie Andrews Edwards uses an enthusiastic tone to create a whimsical and exciting atmosphere for her readers. The magic that comes off of her pages helps create an enchanting mood for her readers that dives them into the wonderful world of the Whangdoodle. Although there is conflict in the story, like most fiction stories, there always is a conflict and a resolution. And that's right here on my poster board. For the conflict, the Whangdoodle land is far more dangerous than any of the characters could have imagined. Once the four travelers entered into the magical land, they are greeted by the evil Proc, who tries to keep them from finding the Whangdoodle. He traps the children and the professor in his lair and convinces the group that the Whangdoodle does not exist. Unfortunately, the professor loses all hope when he's captured. and he ends up losing his imagination, which can take him out of Whangdoodle Land forever, and he can never return if he doesn't have his imagination. However, at the end of the story, for the resolution, the professor and the children work together through teamwork and are able to escape the evil Proc and finally meet the Whangdoodle. Professor Savan is able to rediscover his imagination and help grant the wish of the magical Whangdoodle. Right here, I've created on my poster board the setting of the Whangdoodle Land. In Julie Andrews' story, or Julie Andrews Edwards' story, she talks about the magical and colorful flowers that are colored many, many different colors, and talks about all the butterflies and how there's this miraculous tree where all these animals are living. Right here is the Whangdoodle's castle. Because he is the most majestic and magical creature, he lives up top on the castle. And so this is his mountain and where he lives right here. And up here, the children talk about bubbles in the air and how they see him and they want to run through the field with all the bubbles. And my aim for this design was to kind of create this magical and whimsical Whangdoodle Land. Even though it's just on a piece of paper, I used the materials that I had to kind of create this lifelike imagery of what I think that Whangdoodle Land would look like. My favorite character in the story is actually the evil Proc. I think that he is so interesting, and I think that his character development was really good. You kind of see why he's evil and what made him not like the Whangdoodle. Although I really did like Professor Savant, I think that he is very funny and brings a very humorous aspect to the story. I really did like the evil Proc because I wanted to understand more about him. He kept me reading. He kept the excitement going for me. And then the best part of the book by far was when they got to meet the Whangdoodle. I thought that it was just so magical when they finally reached their goal and were able to meet him, and he was everything that they had hoped he would be. He was nice, he was wondrous, he was exciting, he was enchanting, and he even needed their help to solve a problem. It was really, really wonderful, and it was just that climax that you've been waiting for in that resolution, and then it moved into the resolution. Overall, I really did love this book. I didn't really have any problems with it at all. However, I would have continued more with the description of Whangdoodle Land, but I think that Julie Andrews kind of wanted her readers to develop their own imagination for that. That was her, one of her author's purposes was to allow her readers to kind of imagine that. She didn't want to lay it out for us exactly because she wanted us to use our imagination to create this world on our own. This book is by far one of my favorite childhood stories. I remember reading it in the 4th grade, and my teacher recommended it because I have a love for Julie Andrews, who is also Julie Andrews Edwards. This is just her married name. And she wanted me to read it because she knew how obsessed I was with Mary Poppins and The Sound of Music, which she stars in. But she really wanted me to see what her talents were with writing. And I would say that Julie Andrews Edwards is a remarkable children's book writer, and she really helps her readers just dive deep into the wonderful world of the Whangdoodle. And I would recommend this for any class or any age. And I will continue to use it in my classroom for years to come.